Somehow I'm not. Profile preferences, I will make it as 20. See, the screen is
maybe we can use Claudia's machine.
it's okay. And if I start, why it is not changing?
Still 24.
Profiles, default, edit. Is there a window here? That is why. Okay. At least better. Yeah, little bit reduced. Okay. Go to Passion Bytes. And then create a directory. I will call it as final. CD final. And I'm going to open another window just to check where my code is. So as you know, we had a distribution folder, we had the Passion Bytes folder in which there were so many concepts, and I'm going to go to concepts 4 to check some program there. No, not this one. This we have already used. So it is not in concept 4. I'm going to go to concepts 5. There is no concepts 5. So let me just look at LS. I think it is concept 6. Okay, CD concepts 6, LS, and CD SRC, LS, CD COM, LS, CD Ravi, LS. Yeah. There are so many files here, and we are going to take some of the files. I will just show you what are the files that we are going to take, and there should be a file. Just let me check again. This is making a little bit of problem with the font, so I will again go here and I will change further and then click OK. Now I will go to 16 and click OK, because I'm not able to see the complete screen. Okay, close. All right, so you can see ultimate word count.java. That is the program that I need. So this is there in concept 6, correct? Along with that, I want you to copy file01.txt, file02.txt, and patterns.txt to our folder. So I am closing this window because already that window is there, right? What I am going to do is I am going to copy the source folder, then I can delete whatever I don't need, right? Or I can create a source folder, but whatever it is. So what I'm going to do is cp -r, okay, /passion bytes /concepts 6 *2 dot. So if you look at ls now, everything is there. rm -rf, I don't need all these things. rm -rf attic, temp and test, and then dist, and then classes. I don't need all these things. Finally, and rm -rf, I don't need docs. So if you look at ls, now I got build.xml and source. But there is a problem with the build.xml. Remember, in concept 6, the build.xml is given by me, and that build.xml is not correct. So cp / identity reducer / build.xml dot. It will ask you whether you want to override. Why? Now you got your build.xml. After that build.xml, go to source, okay, go to com, go to Ravi, okay. I am not changing the name, I will keep it as Ravi, okay. And ls minus al, there are so many files there. So many files are there. So what I am going to do is do an ls. After that, I am going to delete all the programs starting with the word count, m, l, all those kind of things, right? So rm minus rf, libjar, this is I don't want this, this one I don't want, sample.txt I don't want, test.star I don't want, my star.star I don't want, and now do an ls. I don't need rm minus rf, demo steps,
Data.
demo is, where is the
Data,
demo?
data.
Okay, de star dot star clear ls, yeah, wait, then rm minus rf, one dot text gpo access dot text, new star dot star, cat dot java, Ravi vowel partitioner dot java, word count dot star, and then clear ls, rm minus rf, data dot star, echo dot star. These are all coming from, whenever I create a class, at the time creating different file, cap star dot star, right? Right, and then ultimate word count. That tilde operator is coming in Unix because of you didn't save the file correctly, so I am just deleting that tilde also. And now if I look at ls, oh sorry, rm minus rf, okay, and now ls, you have worldcount.java, and now rm minus rf, I don't need command.txt and call log.txt. Now we are perfect. If you look at ls, I have file 01.txt, file 022.txt, ultimate word count, and patterns.txt. Clear? We don't need that one.txt also. So all clear now. First, listen. In our program, okay, this is a little bit advanced, but just understand that how a professional word count will be written. Okay, just the purpose is to give you a view of how you should be writing a MapReduce program professionally. First thing is, can you tell me if I give hello, let's say like this, and then hello, exclamation, and then hello, comma. I write a word count program. Can you tell me what will be the output of the word count program if we write our usual program? Hello will be 1, this hello will be 1, this hello star will be 1, and this hello comma will be 1, correct? Because these are all individual words. Computer doesn't know what is the difference between hello exclamation and hello comma. It will consider it as single words. So your company is saying that, whenever you do the word count processing and all, or any kind of program, so many characters will come like this. So tell me what or how you can avoid it. The best way to avoid it is, remember your mapper. You are taking the string tokenizer and taking each word. In that each word, you check whether there is any this type of character or not. And if that character is there, replace it with a string function. In string, there is a function called replace. Use that replace function to replace it with a white space, and then do the word count. Just like, remember, uppercase and lowercase, we converted everything into lowercase and then counted. Similarly, take each character and then take it. Okay, so successfully assume that you wrote all this program, it is in production, and it is moving very well. Suddenly, your manager is telling that, you see, sometimes the data may contain a dollar symbol also. Tell me what is the pain that you need to take now. You have to go to the program, you have to go there and again change your code, and then you have to go to that particular place, wherever you wrote that replace, you have to include the dollar symbol also. You have to do the SIT, move to UAT, and move to production, correct? 1 month, 2 months? I don't want that. I want to write a word count program, and I want a separate file called patterns.txt, and I am going to put exclamation, comma, dollar, and I will tell my word count to read this file, and if any of this character is there, change into white space. So if tomorrow your manager is telling some other symbol like hash, you do not need to change your production code at all. Only thing that you need to do is that just replace that patterns.txt. Now, remember our first class again. That's the fundamental where you did that word count one by one. You, Samiksha, you, Surya, Suresh, everybody are individual nodes. You are counting a word count program is running on your data. Assume that you have 10 lines. One line is this guy, another line is this guy, another line is this guy, right? Each one of you are individually executing it, right? From where you will read patterns.txt. That means, remember the last class, PDF, how every node got the jar files, libjars we used. And I told you clearly that minus libjars option is the way every node will get the jar file. Remember that PDF jar file we propagated to every node? But is it a jar file? It is not. So there is no class path or jar file concept possible for a text file. One method is, nobody is telling any answer. Put it in HDFS. Correct? Like your input file will be in HDFS. In another directory, you put this patterns.txt, and every node can read HDFS. So read it from HDFS, read it from HDFS. But what did I tell you on the first class? Disk input and output is the most expensive operation. Input and output, maximum avoid. I don't want every node to go to that HDFS and then read it. That going and reading and then from HDFS getting it back and then propagating to every node, it takes time. Your MapReduce program will not be efficient. Instead, what I want is, I want to create a pipe, and I want the pipe to contain your patterns.txt so that everyone can refer to that particular thing. This pipe should be in memory, not on the disk. What is the difference again? If it is disk, if it is HDFS, it will have input, output, which is happening. We want to avoid that. It may cause problem also. Why? Because I assume that there are 5,000 nodes reading an HDFS file concurrently. You may get a file descriptor problem. Too much file descriptors open because so many people are trying to read. All this will cause your MapReduce program to fail sometimes, or surely the execution time will be more. So I want this to be in the RAM while the nodes are executing the code, so that I don't have to worry about concurrency, I don't have to worry about any of the problems of disk input and output, and that is the most efficient way. If you want to do that, the facility or the concept in MapReduce is called, you will use something called a distributed cache. Very important interview question. When you will use distributed cache? When? You don't want disk input and output. You want the data to be available on memory or in memory so that every node can access it efficiently. That is the place where you will be using a distributed cache. So what we will show in this program is, we will put this patterns.txt into a distributed cache. It is very easy, one line code, but you should know that will definitely improve the performance. For example, lookup table. Okay, if you ask me an example, a bank has got whether your credit is approved or not. Assume that there is a file downloaded from Equifax or some credit union. So I got 1 million customers of my bank. Everything is stored in a file. And when I run the MapReduce program, I want to check if that customer is blacklisted, then don't count him or her. If I want to do that, I have to make a lookup. And if you want that lookup, use a distributed cache. Lookup tables, LOVs, if you have heard about. List of values, you want to check. Currency conversion, you want to do in MapReduce program. And you want to look at the exchange rate, which is downloaded every day. All these are examples where you will use distributed cache. Distributed cache will not be in the disk, but it will be on the RAM so that everybody can read it. Right? That's one concept. Second one, how can you print the statistics of your MapReduce program? How many words you counted? Another question. Let's say twinkle, twinkle, little star. And next, there is a line gap. I didn't write anything in the next line. Next line I wrote, again twinkle, twinkle, little star. Run your word count. Can you tell me what will happen if you run your word count? Okay. Twinkle one, little one, star one. Ah! What is the function you wrote? String tokenizer. String tokenizer of null. What will you get? Null pointer exception. MapReduce failed. I want to skip blank lines. I want to skip invalid data cleansing, quality, right? So I want to find out how many words are there, and I want to skip blank lines, etc. What is the best way if you want to count the number of words? Please remember, Suresh is sitting here and doing the word count. Samiksha is sitting here doing the word count. Suresh is doing for twinkle, twinkle, little star. Samiksha is doing for how I wonder what you are. And I want to count the total number of words. Can you tell me how will you count the total number of words? Twinkle one, you got the total number of words. But because that is a word count program, assume that it is not a word count program. PDF. Right? How will you find out the word count? Because this machine is independent of this machine, correct? Both are working independently. Are you getting what I'm saying? Because what Suresh is doing, she doesn't know. What she is doing, Suresh doesn't know. There is no network communication. All are working individually on their word count. Correct? But my question is, how will you find out the total lines or total words? How will you get his value? No, don't think about word count program. Think about something else.
Exchanging the data.
Huh?
Exchange with each other.
How? You cannot talk. Then MapReduce concept is completely gone, right? Parallelism, independent execution, and no communication between the network, shared nothing architecture, all gone. If you go there and talk. Huh?
Reducer can.
How? Reducer is, after his work is completed, it is given to reducer. After her work is completed, how will you know total how many?
Writing to the same destination.
How?
You cannot override something.
Huh?
Output file read.
You can't. One logic is in the reducer whenever you receive count. But how will you handle the blank lines? I want to count number of blank lines. Will reducer know how many blank lines are there? Because it is mapper's job, right? Following? When you want such things, you need somebody to observe everybody. That concept in MapReduce is called counters. What you will do? You will declare a counter. And whenever the mapper is doing a word, counter will be incremented. Now what is the specialty of the counter? The moment Suresh is referring to the counter and Samiksha is referring to the counter, both variables are same location. So if he increments and she increments, it is incrementing the same variable. If you don't use counter and you declare a variable in your mapper program, what will happen? Only that variable will be incremented independently. You don't have a consolidated view. Are you getting the idea? It is like, assume that I am telling her to count the number of pages of this book. You are counting the number of pages of that book, and Sheetal is counting the number of pages in that book. Now I am telling that, okay, each of how many of the number of pages totally counted. So I am an external person, and when she is counting each page, she will tell me, okay, I counted 1, I counted 2. You will also tell me, because I am the counter variable. Counter variable will have access to everybody. Are you getting it? That concept is called a counter. And finally, whenever you are doing the word count, you want to write a debug line. Debug, you know what is meant by debug line? What is a debug line? In shell script and all, what is a debug line? How will you debug? Echo is the command. You will tell echo this value, echo this value. You will know whether it is behaving or not. What is it called? Printing output, right? What will happen if you write a system.out.println? In Java, system.out.println means print it to the console. What will happen if Suresh is writing a system.out.println in the mapper, and that program is getting executed by everybody? In everybody's console, that will be printed. I don't want 1,000 machines are there in my Hadoop cluster. Am I going to each and every machine and look at what is the output? It is impossible, right? I want all the outputs to be consolidated in one single place. Then I will know the full logs of my program, and without that you will never be able to debug, preferably in our companies. What happened? Where is the error? Where you will look? That is also illustrated on this particular program. Okay, so what we are going to do is look at the code first. Let me explain you. Okay, open the vi ultimate word count.java. First is package com.ravi. Drive towards the last, and there are so many comments here, and that comments are telling you Ravi second, Ravi 1 and all those kind of things. But commands are telling you how to execute it. I will show it one by one. All right, first thing is, please look at this line where we are using what? Counter. Little bit of advanced Java is required. Even though you wrote counter, you will give a name to the counter on the top of your program that is declared as an enum data type. Anybody knows what is an enum data type? Anybody learned programming? You will know. What is enum? Enum stands for enumerated data type. The best program you might have written if you have learned Pascal or C is that find which day a particular date is. Most of us have written that program. So April 30th is Tuesday. So Tuesday is the output. So what are the possible values? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, right? Since you know the output 100%, you will create an enumerated data type. You are enumerating. That is where you will use enumerated data type. MapReduce architecture enforces that whenever you are declaring a counter variable, it should be of enum data type. You can give any name. Then it is up to you that whenever you want to do something at the time, please increment that variable by 1. So whenever each word is coming, I am incrementing. If there are skip lines, I can create another enum variable and I can increment it, and I can find out how many null lines are there in my input. If suppose some input is coming which is not matching a dictionary word, for example, I can count it and I can tell that these words are meaningless. All these are the examples of enum and counter. Okay. Then if you read the particular code, little bit up if you are going, you will see where is it? Just let me find it out. it's a very small line which can be missed.
So Ravi, we use this concept if you want to transform the data before we do any aggregation.
That you will do normally in the string when you are getting the tokenizer, right? That I already told you, right? As long as you have the string tokenizer and the result available, then you can easily transform it. You do whatever transformation you want, uppercase, lowercase was a transformation, uppercase was a transformation, correct? Where is it?
What does it say?
Cache.
Cache.
Yes. Job dot add cache file is the particular line that you will be doing. So whenever you are writing this particular line, add cache file, it will add this. This is the line. Distributed cache will be used. So distributed cache and the counters. Okay. Then the set configuration, all these things are true. Okay, let's run this, making sure that there are no errors inside this. How will you run that? First, let us create some input files and all. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, let's create the input files, file01.txt, file02.txt, all these things. Do you want to see what is there in file01.txt? File01.txt. And file02.txt. So you can see Hadoop full stop with H capital, Hadoop comma with H capital, right? The other file, you will see I have intentionally put hello world comma by world exclamation. So I want to count world as 2, not world as 2, rather than world comma 1 and world exclamation 1. That is the purpose. Okay. So what we are going to do first is Hadoop fs minus mkdir. Today let us create April 30 as the folder. If you are using Mac, which I have explained in the last class, if you are directly running from Mac, you have to put a slash. Hadoop fs minus put file 01.txt April 30. You can put both files in one go by file star also. File 02.txt. And let us put the patterns file directly into HDFS. Hadoop. Maybe I will create a directory called patterns. Hadoop fs minus mkdir patterns. Okay. And what is there inside the patterns.txt? Please look. What does it mean? A comma should be excluded, a dot should be excluded, an exclamation should be excluded. Okay. All these are single characters. So you will put a slash, backslash, it's a Unix convention. Okay, right. So patterns.txt is there. We created a directory called patterns. So I am going to put Hadoop fs minus put patterns.txt to the directory called patterns.
And what was 2 in that patterns.txt?
I don't want 2 to be counted as a word. It's a preposition, right? To, the, all these words, of. I don't want to be part of word count. Just to show you. That is how you should professionally write it, because you don't want to count that adjectives and all this kind of things. Right. Clear? And vi ultimate word count. Let me just run one so that you understand clearly what it is. Okay, so please look at the comments. It is clearly written there how to run the code. What happened?
Third one.
You can run 1, 2, and 3. Okay, but I am showing you. Such a beautiful system. You see your problem. I'm not able to copy. Again, it went into that mode. See, it is. Now, how will I minimize this one? Copy. See?
Scroll bar.
How come the scroll bar came? Something is fishy. Okay, cd dot dot cd dot dot cd dot dot. What we need to do? And clean, clear, and it has created the jar file. Clear, cd dist ls, my hadoop.jar is there, and then I am going to copy what I have copied from here. Look at that options, right? Huh? Yeah. Okay. Command A, Hadoop. Hadoop jar, my Hadoop.jar, ultimate word count. This is false, and input directory for us is, you should be applying your common sense there. April 30, and the output we will give the name as April 30 out, and skip patterns.txt. Remember, we put it into a directory called patterns/patterns.txt. Should be very careful in changing the input and output. I just gave you the help, that's all. Depending upon whatever input files you chose for putting your file 01 and file 02, you have to give it, right? And then let's see. It used to give an error. First of all, in every class, whenever you are running a MapReduce program, you are getting this. And you never asked me what is that. Map input records equal to 2, output records equal to 2. This means your program is successful, right? What are they? Can you tell me what are they now? They are all counters. So internally, your MapReduce is implementing some default counters for you. How many lines you have taken, okay? How many lines you have taken? Hello world was 1 line, and in the next one, some welcome to Hadoop and a goodbye Hadoop or something. So 2 records, right? How many words? How many bytes? All these are internally implemented. Somebody is counting it. And what are those called? Counters. And in this example, what did we do? We created our own counter. Okay, I'm going to show you where it is. But before going there, what I'm going to do is, okay, so everything, that shuffle errors and all these things are counters. And please look, how many counters were there? That is the complete analogy of your MapReduce program. Now, please go through this, and wherever you have run your program, you will see that there is an application ID created. And if you remember my yarn class, you remember the resource manager will call application scheduler. Application scheduler will create an application for every job that you give, and then application will create containers. Are you remembering? Yarn, yet another resource negotiator. That application ID is what you are seeing here as the application, this particular one, and it will be unique. Every program that you did and submit to your Hadoop cluster will have a unique application ID. I want you to copy this particular thing, copy, and then we are going to type a command. It is. Okay, what I am going to do is clear the screen and what happened, man? It's coming to settings screen. See, okay, it is completely became a scrolled this thing. How will I minimize? I can't minimize this.
Can I double click on like Windows on that cloud era where it is written? No, it won't work like that. I know it's not Windows. No, it's the button.
Okay. Minimize. This window has completely gone. Ayo, what
There is
should we
scroll
do?
bar at the right side. Maybe by mouse you could be able to you.
But see that even if I am having the mouse, it has gone into some mode. Okay. No, it won't work. With the mouse is just like what I am having, right?
Strange, this was not the case. Anyway,
See, it is coming like this, correct? Okay.
between 2 weeks this machine was accessed.
Okay. At least yarn and just press enter. It will show you all the options. Yarn logs minus application I capital D and give the application ID that you have copied just now. That's the logs. It will collect the logs from every machine and it will bring into a single console. This is what everybody in the companies will do after running the program, checking whether something is there. If you have a system.out.println in your code, it will come here. Nowhere else you will be able to see your system.out. Remember that counter screen that you got when you executed MapReduce? It will not come there. You have to write this command. What is the command? This is the command. Please remember, it is case sensitive. Yarn space logs minus application ID I capital and D lowercase. And from where you will get the application ID? From that window. Or you can get that application ID from where? Can anybody tell me?
From
8088. That browser also that will show you the application ID. Okay. Now let us go to Hadoop fs minus ls April 30 out. Good. Hadoop fs minus ls April 30 out / part star. Oh, sorry, not ls, cat. Hadoop fs minus cat. Look at the beauty. Why I didn't get an exclamation mark? Why I didn't get comma? Why I didn't get H capital and lowercase? Skip words we provided in patterns.txt. And now the fun comes, you can write a sentiment analysis. What is meant by sentiment analysis, anybody?
Based on the words.
Based on the words, find out whether the mood of the customer was happy or not. How? In that patterns.txt, you write happy words. And then if it is matching, count. Sad words, if it is matching, count. Happy words, send it to one partitioner.
Yeah.
Sad words, send it to another partitioner. And give us statistics at the end of the day. Telling that my program, one run, and this many agents today, positive, this many agents, negative, feedback to improve, training.
What if, in case of negation, like not happy?
Huh.
So in that case, it will just pull the word happy, but actually the customer's feedback was.
That is where machine learning will come. That is where semantic analysis will come. That is a separate area.
Yeah.
From the face itself, they can understand whether you're happy or not. So that is a separate area. Now, all these things are good. Now let us go to what? 8088. You can either write kickstart.cloudera:8088 or you can write localhost:8088. Look at that, your program. This is the application ID that we have used. Right? What I want you to do, let me just find it out. Tools. No, it is not tools. Array. It is not tools. Oh, wait a minute. I click on this. Scheduler. Not scheduler. Tools. Server. No. Configuration, no. Metrics, no. Give me a minute. I want to show you something more. Back. I think. Okay, cluster. No, it is not cluster. Is it tools? Unless you are using it very regularly, this is the problem. Bless you. This is the problem. Okay, MapReduce, this one. This is cannot be scrolled also. What can I do? I want to see the right side. I don't know how to. Very pathetic. That window also gone. Oh, that minimized. Why it is even that desktop window is also okay. The desktop is here. That is the virtual machine. That is the top bar.
It's called inertia scrolling. You gotta turn that off.
If I quit, everything will be going. Whatever we have done will go.
Maybe reduce the font.
Command minus. No. Okay. How will you do that? Options. Okay. Sorry. File. This menu is also not there, no? Okay. Menu. And then tools, view, and then zoom minus, right? And then zoom minus. zoom minus, okay, control minus. Okay, now, but now you cannot see localhost 8088. Okay, see, that is not reducing. Okay, let us look like this. Memory used, command minus. Okay, that is progress. So let me click here, and history, application master, nodes. No, I don't want nodes. I don't want about, applications, new sim submitted, accepted, finished. There is a finished job, and inside this you have got logs. No, cannot see. Okay, control manager, resource manager, no, node manager, no, it is not this one. Anyway, can you all, if you have started, find out where is counters? It will be showing as counters. Configuration log, server metrics, server stacks. Is it server stacks? No, it is not server stacks, it is server. I never use this window for seeing this value, because there is another way of writing it and then looking at the logs for seeing it. Configuration? No, not configuration. Okay, is there any option finally? No, it's not there. Control B, control matrix, and then this one where it is taking to application tracking URL history. You have to click on history and then it will appear. Always I have the problem of finding it out. Look at that. You got the counters. Now you click on the counters and come down, and all the counters are there. And please look at that. Here in the ultimate count, counters, bad ID, connection, you will see the counter that you have created below this particular screen. The name of the variable was some counter variable I gave in the program, right? That variable name you will be seeing on the top. That is the whole purpose of it. So again, how to go there? Click on the application ID, where here, application ID, and click on history, and then you click on counters, and you will see all the counters available there. Okay, you can go inside the map if you want. You can go to the reduce, all the details of your map or reducer, everything will be given. Actually our counter will be coming towards the last. I don't know how to bring this one up. I don't have any idea of doing it. Otherwise you will see that there is a job counter that is available, which is created by you. Okay, so that is how you will look at the counter. All these counters, 50 of them selected by MapReduce framework, is what you see in the blue screen when you complete your code. Understand? That is how the relationship is. Okay, so little bit of summary is, what is a mapper? Okay, what is Hadoop? It is a file system and a computing framework. File system is called HDFS. Computing framework is called MapReduce. HDFS is a block storage. By default, from Hadoop 3 onwards, the default size of the block is 128 MB. By default, Hadoop uses replication factor of 3. That means if 1 gigabyte of file I am putting into Hadoop file system, the minimum space required for default configuration is 3 gigabytes. Hadoop is called shared nothing architecture. Why? Because individual nodes are running independently. Hadoop is called scale out architecture rather than scale up architecture because you can add as many nodes as you want and scale out infinitely. Hadoop 1 used job tracker, task tracker, etc. It failed because job tracker was doing all the work of the Hadoop Echo file system, like resource management, checking whether the program is running or not, right? Checking whether a node is, and there was no facility for checking whether a node is able to run or not. That is why they stopped that and went into the next version of Hadoop called Hadoop 2.x, where they divided the responsibility of job tracker into resource manager, node manager, application master, containers, and application schedulers. Out of that, the most important thing is resource manager and node manager. Whenever you run Hadoop, you should see resource manager, node manager, data node, name node. Name node takes the responsibility of keeping the journal or registry or FS image of how the files are and where each block is residing. That gives critical information to the resource manager whenever it is running a MapReduce program. In a MapReduce program, we have seen there is a mapper part, there is a reducer part, and there is a driver part. Driver combines or stitches mapper and reducer in a final main. If you write or do not write reducer, by default, Hadoop will provide a reducer called identity reducer, whose output will be just take map and print it out. If you are writing a reducer, that reducer will be invoked for every key. All the keys will be going to one reducer. Same twinkle cannot go to multiple reducers, then you will get wrong output. If you explicitly say set num reduce tasks as 0, not even identity reducer will be created. In that case, there will not be a reducer at all. Then we have seen how to write a combiner. A combiner accelerates the mapper process by doing a combination before going to the reducer. And reducer does the final combination. But mapper does within itself whatever it can do. If one person is getting 3 twinkles, earlier without a combiner, twinkle 1, twinkle 1, twinkle 1 was going. Now twinkle 3 will go. If you write set number of reduced tasks as 0, and if you use combiner, combiner will not be used. Combiner is a helper to reducer. So if reducer is not there, combiner will not be there. But if the reducer is identity, yes, combiner will be executed. Then we have seen how to write a partitioner. And then I told you the final paradigm for the entire MapReduce flow, if you write all these things, is mapper, combiner, partitioner, shuffle and sort, reducer. Correct? Then we have seen all these programs and you stored it in each individual folder for you to refer. By default, the port for name node and data node will be 50075. By default, yarn port will be 8088. In Hadoop 3, it is changed. We are using Hadoop 2. Okay? Then, finally, we have seen what is meant by distributed cache, where you will be caching a particular file in memory for everybody's use, every node's use, basically. We have seen counters in order to do tasks such as counting the number of skipped lines or counting the number of skipped words, or you want to do a custom counting by an enumerated data type, you will declare it, and by clicking on the application ID and going to the history, and on the left hand side you will see counters and you will see your counter which is being declared. Right? That's all on MapReduce and Hadoop. You won't write any Java code now. Little bit, somewhere here and there. Everything else is now very simple. So we'll start MongoDB in the next class, Thursday. No need to go too much deep on this, but please have an understanding of what's a combiner, what's a partitioner and all. Why? Because in Spark and all, okay, partition the data by ID. You should know what is internally happening. I told about hashing, the technique by which the buckets are being allocated, right? So it uses those particular things. Any questions so far?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Patterns.txt, where in the code did you place it in district?